Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing an article titled Why Companies Aren't Held Accountable for Data Breaches, published by Time Magazine on January 28th, 2025. This article highlights the alarming rise of data breaches and the lack of accountability among corporations. Despite major incidents, companies continue to operate without facing severe legal consequences. My presentation will explore why this is happening and just a gist of it, and also how it connects to key IT governance and cybersecurity principles. Now, moving on to the next slide, we have the article's overview. This article basically focuses on uh, companies or how companies often evade responsibility when data breach occurs. And a notable example of that is 2022 Samsung breach, which exposed customer data, causing financial and huge personal distress for individuals like Ronald Allen. Unfortunately, legal action against corporations often fails because victims struggle to prove direct harm. Additionally, the absence of unified federal law in the US means that regulations vary by state to state and leading to weak law enforcement and minimal penalties for businesses that fail to protect user data is also a main concern. Now moving on to the key insights from the article, as it highlights several critical issues. The number one is the impact of data breaches. When companies like Samsung experience breaches, millions of customers are affected, leading to financial fraud and identity theft. The legal challenges are such that the lawsuits often fail because proving direct harm is difficult, and without clear evidence, companies escape consequences quite easily. And lack of federal regulations, unlike countries with strict data protection laws, the US does not have a single federal mandate to requiring the companies making sure them that they are safeguarding the customers' data. Uh, and also, like when it comes to like slow adaptation of cybersecurity measures, surprisingly, many organizations still fail to implement basic security steps like multi-factor authentication or regular password updates, which could significantly reduce breaches as well. And now moving on to the connection to module concepts. This article directly relates to several key IT concepts like we have covered in the class. IT governance, uh, say for example, IT governance, proper IT governance ensures that an organization aligns itself to the technology strategy with security and risk management. The lack of governance in many corporations results in weak security policies, making them easy targets for cyber criminals. Regulatory uh, compliance without strong federal regulations, companies are not held accountable. They may follow minimal state level laws, which often do not provide adequate protection for users as well. And cybersecurity practices. Companies neglect fundamental security practices, which such as multi-factor authentication, and which increases vulnerability to breaches. Uh, and also digital privacy. The article emphasizes how poor data protection measures have real consequences, including identity theft and financial loss. Customers trust companies with their data, and when the trust is broken, the after effects are devastating. And key takeaways and recommendations are going to be to address these issues. Several steps need to be taken, as we know that like stronger IT governance, companies must implement structured security frameworks and to ensure IT resources are well managed. And national cybersecurity laws has to be implemented and standardized with a federal policy to enforce strict accountability and penalties for data breaches. Improved cybersecurity measures can also be uh, playing an integral part, and consumer awareness and responsibility. Uh, Organizations must prioritize data privacy, but consumers also need to be aware of the security best practices, such as using strong passwords and enabling two factor authentication as well. So, in conclusion, this article sheds light on the pressing need for better IT governance, stronger regulations, and improved um, cybersecurity measures. If companies continue to neglect data security, breaches will persist and putting millions at risk, millions of data at risk, millions of users at risk. We must advocate for stricter laws and hold companies accountable for protecting user data as well. Thank you so much.